Nottingham. Now, talking of food and lunchtime, if you go out for a bite to eat, when you arrive at the restaurant these days on the menu, your choice is pretty extensive, even if, in terms of the actual food on offer isn't the longest menu. You know what I mean? From vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, dairy-free, what have you. What happens if you have sight loss, and whatever degree of sight loss that may be? What happens if you can't actually see the menus? Well, one Nottinghamshire restaurant has teamed up with My Sight to create a Braille menu. Julie Scarlett from the charity. Hello, Julie.
Good morning, Mark.
Lovely to hear from you again. Yeah, and to you as well. I think we can just still get away with it today. And then that's it. So look, I was saying before, this is hardly high tech, is it? But it's so effective and so important.
It is. I mean, Annie's are really blazing a trail for accessibility in Nottinghamshire. And, it would be fantastic to see more restaurants taking accessibility as seriously as Annie's are. I mean, it's just going to be fantastic. I eat here very regularly. My daughter is a vegetarian and her partner's vegan. And the inclusivity of this menu, Annie's, is great because they provide options for all sorts of, people with different requirements. And so we eat here very often, and it can take me sort of 45 minutes to get through the menu because it's so extensive, and it's quite a noisy environment because it's a popular restaurant. And I'm forever leaning across the table saying, "What did you say? What? Can you repeat that, please?" And then we'll get to the end of the menu, and I'll have forgotten what the beginning was, and it was like, sorry, does that one have guacamole or doesn't it have guacamole? So to be able to cut all that nonsense out, read my own menu, make my own choices in my own time without having to bother, friends or family to read it and reread it is just fantastic. It's going to just be such a much better eating experience for me and for other visually impaired people who I think will be beating a path to Annie's door.
Yeah, well, this is all really interesting. Part of me is rather surprised, Julie, and you are probably even more surprised than me because you're in this situation, that it's taken till it's 2022. And this is a relatively new and, from what you're saying, a rare thing for a place to have a Braille menu.
It is. I mean, there are only a handful of restaurants across Nottingham that offer a Braille menu, which is quite sad, really. It would be, it would be fantastic to see it grow. And My Sight's transcription service, are happy to provide the same service for other local businesses that we've provided to Annie's. We turn it around very quickly. It's very cost effective. We also do large print menus because obviously not all visually impaired people read Braille. More people can access large print just because, sight loss is a degenerative thing generally, and people lose their sight when they get older. So, large print in addition to Braille would just capture everybody and make life so much easier for so many people.
How much of a game changer is this, do you think? Because as you described there, if you have whatever degree of sight loss it may be, if you're not sitting across the table or next to someone in a restaurant, they've got to read it out to you. I'm just thinking about people that want to go out on their own, for instance, or with someone else with visual impairment. This could be potentially a big deal.
It is. It's an absolute game changer. It would be fantastic for us to have access to Braille or large print menus in every restaurant. And to be honest, the costs involved and aren't that big, and I would encourage other local restaurants to be like Annie, and just to think about everybody who eats with them. We as I say, the costs are minimal, but the benefits are huge. Everybody wants to be inclusive. Everybody wants to give all their customers, surely, the best services available. For us, Braille and large print menus are an absolute game changer. It would be great to see them in more places.
Julie, great talking with you. What a fabulous idea. But as I say, I'm sitting here kind of thinking, why has it taken this long for it to happen? But it has at Annie's for one. And as Julie says, other places may well follow. Thank you for that. All the best, Julie. News on the way at 12.